Hello, hello, hello. Sam Tolbert, Sound of Joy Music Services, and we're trying something a little different. We've repositioned our camera a bit uh, so that we can be closer to our keyboard and the computer, which is on my left side, keyboard is on my right side, and we're right here in the middle. I wanted to try doing a live viewer viewer request stream and show you the actual process that I go through. Hey, Jermaine, how are you doing? Let me just verify that. Okay, things are live. Viewer request stream. You hear me in the background. I'm checking on my iPad to make sure that I don't miss anybody. Thanks for coming in. So I have about 4 requests that I haven't fulfilled yet. And then there are some that I may actually do right away. Those are the songs that I, right off the bat, know the key, know the pitch of the song, or it's easier for me to do. There are some which I've never learned. So those are the ones that I've actually not done yet. So I'm going to delve into those live right now here with you and see whether or not if I can play the music in the background. I may interfere with some copyright information, so I'm actually recording this stream so that if I need to go in and mute those songs playing in the background for YouTube purposes, then I can do that and still keep the context. I won't be long. Again, this is the first test of this, so let me pull up the uh, the requests that are out there. Of course, you can always ask any questions if you have any. Let me know if my sound is okay. I am monitoring on my OBS and it looks a little low. So let's adjust my microphone up a bit. Okay, I'm more into the yellow. I want to be able to give when you're dealing with music and audio, I should have the absolute best sound. Of course, the keyboard is right there. I know where that sound is. So let's pull up um, the request that I have out there currently open in the comments section. Go to comments. Actually, I did write all these down so that I can, well, I'll look for them. We'll go backwards. Let's see what we got. We just did Lion of Judah that I had to learn. Please also do What a Friend We Have in Jesus in F sharp. That was a request. I won't give the name of the person requesting it. What a Friend We Have in Jesus in F sharp. So again, that's a song that I'm very familiar with. So I can give you the concept that I use when I'm doing a viewer request. And of course, if you have any questions, please. Hey, Sub-Zero, how you doing? Yeah, I've been busy over here doing a lot of things health-wise, and so I'm sort of trying to now re-engage in setting up an actual live, an actual meaningful live session. So, What a Friend We Have in Jesus is one of the earlier viewer requests that I have. So let's go to the page where I do. That's my camera there, where I do the viewer request. Now, What a Friend We Have in Jesus, it's a very generic song. So I'm assuming that they want me to do it in a more jazzier format. So I'm going to look at it. Let me get my headphones on so because I had the sound all going through my headphones. G flat, F sharp, G flat. That was the request. Believe it or not, it's in the pentatonic scale. That's why I say learn your basic scales, the major, harmonic minor, and learn the pentatonic scale, because that's where you'll find some of these um, spiritual based songs, and also you'll find the actual quartet songs written in the pentatonic scale. I don't want to miss any requests, so I do have my my iPad running. I should be able to see the request here, and I don't see it. There we go. Now it's live. Okay, so I just showed you the melody. What a friend we have in Jesus, all our sins and griefs to bear. What a privilege to carry everything to God in prayer. G flat, yeah, you can put it there. I always like to build around the actual bass chords. Now, what happens is when you're doing gospel music, you're always going to throw a little seasoning in it. Now, yeah, and I use that term, seasoning. And seasoning could be from classical jazz, contemporary, depending upon how you want it to go. So if I'm just going to do gospel, then I'm going to throw 7th chords. Now walk down. Minor 6, right? Seventh chord and another 7 to walk up. There's your, I'm gonna call it a bit of a gospel jazz feel. Switch it off. Did you diminish? And that is your gospel cadence. What? I'd like to throw this in. There it is. That's what I wanted to hear. When I played the chord wrong, I says, work back, go backwards to where you started, and lean to this chord you want to go to. Again, it's just adding flavoring. And it's going to resolve. And resolve again. Melody on the top. Hawkins chords and Crouch chords. Okay, make sure I didn't miss anyone who had come in. So, and the approach is to attack the chords around the melody. This way, the melody is still heard, and if you play a chord like I did wrong, I could go back and, as they say, reset, and then walk it down to where I want it to go. What was it? Oh, what peace we often forfeit. Gotta get back to that chord. There it is. That's what I wanted to do. Temporary. All because we do not go basic. Carry everything to God in prayer. Just turning it around. Everything to God in prayer. In my head, I'm hearing chord changes, but I'm in an awkward key for when I do this song. Everything to God in prayer. There it is. Some I think this is Whitfield changes. Seventh chord. All right, so that would be how I would do an actual viewer request. I try not to give too many bass chords, but I try to show you where you build from the melody, from the scale, number one. Find the melody in the scale. And once you know where the melody in the scale is, find the bass chords and then decide which direction you want to go with it. Do you want to go classical? Let me see if I were to go classical. I'm trying to hear the chord. That's not classical. Kind of hard to switch up a hymn. That's really an actual tradition. If there are any questions out there, let's say I'm trying to monitor both screens to make sure I don't miss anyone. So that was one of the requests. What a friend we have in Jesus. Let's look at the next one from our comments. Let's see. Did that one? Where are they? Please do "'Tis So Sweet." I did that one. Whitfield, we need a word from the Lord. I've never played that song in the sense of to play for a choir, but I am familiar with it. So this is one that I would have to pull up. So let's see how much of it I can do without infringing on a copyright. So here's where when I go to YouTube, we need a word from the Lord, Thomas Whitfield. So this may be one of those times where I'm going to have to mute this. But let's see. Make sure that there is no ads, which there usually pops up. There's the ad. So let's pop the ad out of it. If I can, while I'm waiting for the ad to finish. Did he do that key in G flat? I don't remember. Now, I try to give a brief intro of the song and then take you into the song and through some of the changes all within less to 5 to 8 minutes. Sometimes I'll go over if there's something I want to really cover. That's going to teach you more chords to use. Let's skip the ad. Okay, we can listen to it now. Let's see what we got. Okay, first thing I'm going to find is the key. D flat. Someone is always calling me whenever when I'm always trying to do something live. Always getting a phone call. All right, I just had to mute out that telephone call. So okay, so I got that beginning. Okay. My ears are listening. Again, the scale. I hear the chord. Melody up top. I hear the change. Because that lets me know already it's going to go to a minor. Again. My memory is now kicking in those chord changes, which makes it easier when it's a song that I've heard in my past. Maybe I didn't learn that particular song, who joined us, but my ears are saying, hey, this is where the changes are going to go. Find where the top note is, where's the vocal singing, and what chords are going to be placed around that. So let's see what else I can hear. We don't need another conqueror on the scene. What we need is a special word. Stop that.
Emma, I'm not.
All right. My mistake. I'm using my left hand, and of course, it's throwing me off. What is this? No. Okay, there it is. So it came. What was that key? Bass note. Let's see if we can find it. What we don't need another conqueror on the scene. Walk up. So we were in. These chords are ingrained in my head from so many other songs that I've heard played where I'm omitting maybe what the other songs were doing to hear what I'm hearing now. This is this ear training. I think a lot of musicians will dismiss we church musicians that learn to play by ear, where there was no one showing us, like you see my hands on these keys. But in my era of time, I didn't have someone to say, here, this is what the chord is. I had all I could rely on was what I heard played from an album, a CD, highest note, lowest note, and all the chords in the middle. All right, let's continue a little more.
What we need is a special word.
Okay. Let's see if that's the next change.
That will burn within the hearts and
And I use this change. Who's joined? So I am auditioning all the notes to hear what my ears have heard. Let's see if I matched at least 90% of those chord changes.
it is a special word that will burn within the hearts and give us
Here we keep going.
direction from above. We need it.
Just build it. So which one do I use? This one, that one, or bass is going to be down there. Not sure who's watching with us. Let me just keep an eye on things. So you're seeing the actual concept. I'm actually live streaming on my Facebook page also. So I'm not sure how many are watching from Facebook. You're welcome to come to YouTube if you want to comment, because I'm not monitoring the Facebook page, but I am showing you the concept. When I take an actual viewer request, it's not like a one-on-one consultation session I'm having, but it is gives me an opportunity to have a 5 to 10 minute consultation with the person who is requesting the song. And I try to give as much of what's happening on the original recording as possible, because then you're going to add that to what you currently know. And hopefully, I'm giving you the concept of every chord is being found in the scale outside of when it goes out. And when it does go out of the scale, you know there's a note that's not in the scale. Let's find that note, not 100 notes or 10 notes, but one note that may take you out of the scale. You didn't hear that change, but I did. That's where we are. That's where we are right now. All right, let's go back to our request page and let's see. Mm-hmm.
A word from the Lord, just one word.
That chord came in there. When they place it correctly.
A word from the Lord, just
Okay. That's the chain. Chords do matter when you want to learn the song like it was written. If you have any questions, please, give them. Please answer please ask them. I'm trying to monitor while I'm doing this breakdown of a viewer request. Let's see where it goes from here.
one word from the Lord will move all the doubts and cause the sun to shine.
Okay, so So those changes that you hear me doing, I've used them in so many songs. I keep wondering, why do I keep putting this change in some of my songs when I end it? Because I got it from this. That note has to change. That play it, then let it go. That note is offending me because it's got to move. better. Just don't put that note there. Resolve to a minor key there, I believe. Let's hear that change.
from the Lord will move all the doubts.
So you've kind of got most of the song, a minute into the song, and that's quite few. That's all the changes that are there. Let's see what else I can add.
And cause that sun to shine and give peace of mind. Speak, Lord,
Okay. Those chords do matter. It's a matter of placement. Let me go. I believe it changes key. Same repeats. Let me go further. I was correct. Which is why scales are so important. If you're gonna go to D major, you have to know your same notes in D major and take out the ones that don't fit. There it is. G7. G7. So if you got the first part in D flat, you're just gonna go transfer up. So that's my breakdown. That is how I break down a song. I've given you more than I would have normally put into a 10 minute, but I want to give you the concept and the practice that I've used for years. As I say, make myself comfortable here. I'm not a practicing church musician anymore, but I still instruct musicians in a way that I think can help add to what you currently do know. I don't take away from what you currently do, but I just add to it. And if you do want a musician instruction from me, I do. Let me just go to flash up a page up here. There we go. Let me flash my page there. I do offer musician instruction. Now, it is not free, but I am looking into just my microphone. I am looking into having sessions on Facebook. Excuse me, not Facebook, on Zoom. I do have a Zoom account where I can bring in multiple musicians. So if there's one particular song where there are multiple musicians who want to get some instruction in, personal instruction in, I have no problem. If I can get a certain number head count in my head, which would cover the cost of a 30-minute session, I would provide chords written out. Again, need chance to break down the song, and then I'll be able to hear you as you articulate it from where you are. Because I think a lot of musicians are afraid to have me hear what they sound like, and I can't help you as an instructor, a musician instructor, if I haven't heard you play. I don't necessarily have to hear you do this. No, I don't have to hear you do that. But if I call out a chord name, if I call out a fingering, if I do call out an intro that you're looking to learn, and you've invested in me to help get you to a particular point, I'd like to be able to know that I'm helping you. So look for live sessions like this, and then my advertising perhaps coming and looking to get. I'll put a number in my head of 3 to 5 musicians. Time zone will be an issue if someone on the East Coast, West Coast, or in Africa, or in New Zealand, or in Australia. That'll be an issue. But I would try to find out who is where, and what would be a good time to schedule the same song. We won't be different songs, but everyone learning the same song, and then I'd be able to get a better picture of what you sound like. That's what I would do. That's what I would do. So let's go on to one more of the requests that I have out, the viewer requests. This is what this is. This is a viewer request live that I'm doing to show you that the lengths that I go to give viewers, those who take the time to listen to the over 1,100 videos. I'm sure, I don't know if there's one person who has listened to all 1,100 plus videos, but the recent ones where I'm actually helping to build you as a musician. If you take that time to ask and to view my content here on YouTube, the least I can do is to answer requests free of charge. I don't charge for viewer requests. I try to keep the time limit down, but give you the full meat of the song. So I'm going to go to another request. Let's see. That was the Thomas Whitfield. Can you do a tutorial? Tutorial would have been a lot longer, so you got a quick review. One of my faithful requesters. Let's see what else we got here. Tutorial on Darius Brooks' Lord I Believe. Again, another song that I have heard but never took the time to learn. Lord I Believe. Just typing it into my YouTube. The Darius Brooks version, which I believe is the original version. Here we go. Let's turn off the ad. So when it's a song that is from my past, which means I may have been given an album to learn one song from it, but I listened to all the songs on the album but wasn't told to learn that one. This may be one of those songs. So let's see what we got here. Let's see what we got. First, you're going to do is find the key. Back in D flat again. Let me share the correct screen. All right, so we're back in D flat. That's what I'm hearing already. Must be no. Your male singers love D flat to. I'm going to say B flat to D flat. They'll do songs in that range. Excuse me. If they are a high end singer, they'll go to like the Donnie McClurkin. He'll go up to the E flat, and sometimes F. Did I miss anyone? I want to make sure I didn't miss anyone. All right, so let's listen to some more of what's happening in the opening.
I am standing on the promises of Jesus.
Okay. My ears are telling me that's what's coming, and then it's going to change key. So let's see what we got here.
And I believe he will do just what he said. No more doubt and disbelief, causing my faith to decrease all the more.
All right, so there's a change in there that's going to happen. So again, D flat, you look at the scale, then you, from an ear standpoint, see what chords are being played from the scale and minus all the other notes. That chord, we just did that chord in another song. That's the easiest way to do that change. Now you can add that note. It's all a matter of knowing where the notes are, which notes that you are hearing, and then the ones which are being added. Yeah. There's that change. What is this? What do they call that? E flat add something. But now, excuse me, scratchy nose. But now the key is going to change. So let's see how we're going to change. So that's going to be our change. We're going to go from D flat to B flat. So from very basic change. All right, B flat.
I'll take him at his word.
So now the chords are beginning to ring back. Once we change the key, those changes now. Let's see if I'm correct.
Take him at his word, and I'm gonna trust him. I'll trust him. And I'll never doubt. I'll stand. Oh, his promises. Oh, in the time of trouble, he will bring me out.
There we go. There it is. I use that chord also. What's going on here? I use that chord also. So. Here it is. And it's going to take you right back to the beginning. So everything cycles back around. So you're in D flat, you're going to wind up in B flat. And once you leave D flat, you are still touching areas of D flat in this song. This is what gospel, let's see who joined. This is what gospel songwriters do. They don't follow rules. No song is supposed to go from D flat down to B flat. But if your vocalist needs to be able to articulate his voice in the range he wants, then you have to do that. So I've given you a lot of this song. As I say, hopefully I don't get um, tagged by Facebook, excuse me, by YouTube, by hearing me playing it in the background. But I said that's okay. If they tag it, I'll let them give me the warning, which is what I usually get. So that's pretty much that entire song. For the person who requested it, that is, if you play it back, you've got all the chords through that entire song. I don't think anything is happening near the end. Let's just see, since I'm going to get a copyright notification anyway.
And I believe that nothing is impossible.
So when it gets back around the song and they come back to the Lord I believe. Nothing. Turn around. Yeah, if I had to play this song for a choir, I could. What is the app to show what notes press? Hey Johnny, that is Chordy app. It's a pro. It's a program. Let me just change my screen. Come out of this one. It's an app called Chordy. It's a paid app. You pay the person who wrote it. You go directly to his site. If you search on the internet for Chordy, CHORDIE app, you see a link to his page. You pay him directly. The one thing about this app is that you must be on the internet in order to use it because it links to his site so that you get the updates when the updates happen. So if the internet is ever down, you can't use it. I believe it was $25 when I got it some years ago. But it's an excellent app for teaching, which is why it was actually designed. It's really designed for teaching guitar, but they threw in piano as which is what I use it for, to show the chords that I press, and I couldn't do any of this without it. Now I do have Meticulous. I've downloaded that one because the Chordy app wasn't working. I was inputting the wrong information, and I was kind of frustrated because I said, now I got to go and try something different. I didn't like the way that one looked. You may see the one video I have there to show that app, the Meticulous app, but it's nothing like this. This is probably the one of the premier apps. There are other sites that have other apps. I don't know if those guys will share what that is. I have no problem about sharing any of the things that I use from a teaching standpoint. Louis Bentley, I'm also going to subscribe. I love what you've seen so far. Oh, thank you. Always looking for subscribers and viewers. If you have any other musicians in your location or that you know in your various forums that you support, come on, bring them by the Sound of Joy channel. I don't just teach traditional, I teach gospel, hymns, spirituals, anthems, and contemporary. And the current praise songs. I touch anything musical. If I can hear it, I can break it down and change it if I had to. Oh, I'm from far away. Romania. Oh, okay, Johnny, as I was saying earlier in the stream, that if I do a live viewer request for multiple people, I have to see where everyone is located around the world, or at least around the United States or around the world, to see if whether or not I can get a group of people together learning the exact same song. Of course, I'd have to define where their skill set is. I always ask, can you play me the scale? If you can play me the scale correctly, 2 octaves, backwards and forward, then that's half the battle. That means you can hear every note that's being played, which means I can show you the chords that's in every one of those notes. You're a great singer. Don't forget, if I could sing, I wouldn't have had to pay someone to sing this album, this one song for me that I put out. I have more songs to put out. No, I've been told I have a very musical sounding voice. Uh, I I'm not monotone, but I do know what notes sound like. Like I know I'm in B flat now, so if I want to be in B flat is right there. If I want to go to B flat, C, D, E flat, F, G, A flat, G flat, F, E, E flat, C, D flat, B, B flat, B flat. There it is. I can hear notes. I don't have perfect pitch. I have relatively perfect pitch. I'll find what key I'm in within 3 tries, depending upon what the song is. So that will help. That last video review will help the person who had asked for that one. I said I was going to do one more, just one, but I want to see. Louis, I'm also going to scramble up that I'm seeing so far. Okay, I think make sure that I've left anyone out that's watching. Let's see what the next request was. There was a quartet choir, I believe, request. Just looking through the comments. Oh, this was a strange one. Please do a tutorial on UNV, So in Love. Been trying to figure out this song for the longest time. God bless. So this is one that is not gospel, but inspirational. So UNV, So in Love. Let's look at that. UNV, So in Love. Okay. Now, does the fact that it is not a gospel song, will that deter me? I'm sorry, I have one request if you can. King of Glory by Commission and Fred Hammond. I would love to see what you come up with. I'm learning it now. Okay, let me go look at that one. King of Glory by Commission and Fred Hammond. Let's see. As I say, I don't know every song, but I can learn any song. All I have to do is to hear what the musicians are doing. King of Glory, live. So make sure, oh, live. Okay, that means musicians can go crazy with it. Commission. All right, let's see if this is it. I'm going to assume it's the King of Glory live reunion live. So let's
Welcome, may I have your attention?
kill the ad. As I say, I don't hide from songs as long as it's in the realm of music theory. Some of these songs, they go crazy with it. Let's see what we got here.
All right, listen. You know, what we're all about, prophetic. We all about.
All right, let's skip the talking. Let's see what we get to. Uh-oh.
Hit it.
D flat. There we go. I'm sorry, E flat I meant. That's what my ear heard, and that's where I went right to. Let's see what they're doing with it. The horns. Get together, hands. All right, that's what the horns are doing in the intro. What's that bass doing? As I say, this is wild. All right, so yeah, that's this is a crazy one.
Situation you're going through is getting harder for you to face.
All right. Hammond, Fred Hammond. All right, that's what I'm hearing. Bass. I mean, the music is underneath all that's going on.
You say your family, hey, and your friends have loved you hanging.
All right. There's a change in there. Again, it's contemporary chords that are floating around the entire song. Yeah, these are the harder songs because it's musicians going crazy. They're being untethered. They're just, hey guys, play the four, play the six, play the two, give me the three, the four, and diminish and go back to the six. So they are in a contemporary jazz flow right now. So, um, yeah, I'll say Louis Bentley. It's not, it's not challenging. It's knowing placement. This is all placement. You're going to be, um, I've already forgot the intro, but you're going to be around these chords from the beginning, or here. Those are those. That's your chord. Those are your chord families. And right here, I was doing this, but it could be here also. But it's going to take you to that diminished. Have a good bass player and some horns to help with all the other intricate stuff going. This is not your Sunday morning male choir song. I'll put it like that. Your male chorus. You won't be doing this on Sunday morning with your male chorus. But with a good bunch of musician staff around you, you could have real fun, as they say, being untethered. Untethered. Oh, thank you. Thank. I again. Let me just change my screen. I owe my ear training to the need to want to know how can I transcribe, how can I go to a piano and play music. I would listen to everything that I would hear on television commercials, on cartoon theme music, all the classical sounds, and did not know how to go to a piano and actually articulate those sounds. So when I began to learn music as a young instrumentalist in public school, they put a flute in my hand, a flutophone, little 5-hole device, where I was now being able, and they taught me how to read sheet music. And just from that desire and being a part of high school bands here in the United States, I was introduced to classical, to jazz, to contemporary music that wasn't church music. But then once would listen to church music and see some of how it was written out in hymnals, I said, this is like band music minus all the instruments. This is four instruments, which is the vocals, minus flutes, clarinets, trombones, saxophones, trumpets. So in my head, I could hear all that music, but on paper, it was just giving me four notes. So I would just transpose, and I think that is Miss Siobhan's question. What transition chords could I use between the verse and the chorus of the hymn, Great is Thy Faithfulness? When I would hear that song played, I would go, okay, if I was in the jazz band, what chords would I put around Great is Thy Faithfulness? I would look at the song and go, well, if I was in the jazz band, I would put this chord in between the breath marks. Because you can't sing a song straight through without breathing. It's got to have a pause. It has to have timing to where there's a gap of space. And if you just stop playing, the song dies. So when I was a young musician learning the intricate songs that we were teaching, there was always movement in the song, leading to when the next instrument ran out of air, another instrument would keep the song going till that instrument could take in his air and then continue his part. So I use the same concept when I'm actually playing a song. Where he leads me? Sure. Sub-Zero, not a problem. So let's answer this viewer request for Siobhan. I think she had one that I covered already. Let's go back to here. Great is Thy Faithfulness. Everyone does this song in E flat, and you have people screaming for the highest note. I like to move it down to D flat, but I'll do it in E flat because that's where most people will play this song. Let's see, what transition chords could I use between the verse and chorus of the hymn? Between the verse and chorus. All that I need scales. Again, entire melody is found in the scale of E flat. So if you wanted to chord around that song or chord to take you to the greatest thy faithfulness, you have a lot depend upon what genre you want to use. I like to use the jazz genre. All thou hast needed, excuse me, thy hands have provided. Great is thy faithfulness, Lord, unto me. Now you could go straight and do an F7, because that's going to lead you to the 4. Great is. You could use a straight from there. Again, straight. Or dun 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 dun. Dun. Great is thy faithfulness. Who said I could sing? I sing to work through what chord changes I would put around a soloist. All I have given thy hands have trait provided. Great is thy faithfulness, Lord, to me. You can walk it down. Great is. And what you have to think of is, if greatest is in B flat, think B flat. What would you do in B flat? Great is thy, and go back to E flat. That's why I said, once you have an understanding of the scales, every note has chords associated with it. B flat has F associated, D associated, C, G, A. But what notes do you pick to use? Do you choose? Whichever ones sound good. So you came out of needed thy hands have provided. Great is thy faithfulness, Lord, unto me. Here's your first chord. Boom, down. Try this chord. Great is. So you can go, once you've come out of the chord, unto thee. Great is. That's another chord you can use, or from the and great is. Give the person singing a chance to breathe, and they will wait for you. Believe it or not, they'll thank you because of where this song is going to take them. One more. You can be in a minor. Great is, and stay in that B flat. Give them the classical. There it is. This song, Great is Thy Faithfulness, is a classical musician's candy store because of where the melody takes you and the fact that you can go and dig up all the classical changes. Boom, boom, boom. Bum, bum. To go straight. Great is yeah, you can go crazy with it also. Him, what a friend we have in Jesus. I did that in the opening, Lewis. That was one of the requests, the early viewer requests. Someone wanted I think they wanted a jazzy way of doing "What a Friend We Have in Jesus" in the key of G flat. That again, a hymn really is a kind of a song that, depending upon the tempo of it and the amount of words, will dictate how much you can change it. I know a lot of musicians like to reharm a song and just reharm. That's like just anyway. They like to use reharmonization with chords on a hymn to change the nature of what the song sounded like, so to suit their purpose because they learned three more chords. I say if you're going to reharm a song, then give it more of a push instead of taking away from it. Gamma Games, you have a request. Winter Wind. Winter Wind, I am not familiar with. I'd have to look it up and see what it sounds like. But Lewis, I will touch on. I will touch on. Hey, one of my viewer request people is here in the room. I never give names. Um, what a friend we have in Jesus. I did it in G flat. I think that key is normally in F. And what I said, that song is written in the pentatonic scale. But if you don't know that the scale exists, you won't know that it's written in that scale, and it's a jazz scale. That's the only time you come out of it. And usually when I play What a Friend We Have in Jesus, I give it a walking tempo so that the song is not dragged. That's what I do with it. Um, can I teach There Is No Way in the key of A flat? Wow, a long time. Wow, I have not played that song since it came out. Mm. Mm. Yeah. Let me take a break because sometimes, as a musician, where are you at? Sometimes, as a musician, certain songs can trigger you, and that was one of those songs that when I played years ago, when it first came out. Of course, you have a lot better sounding choirs now, but years ago I didn't have the voices that musicians have today doing this song. So sometimes I said, gee, I wish I was a part of that recording, of those recordings with these singers now that can really just blow. Excuse me, as the word goes. But yes, I am very familiar with There Is No Way. I just gave you a look at it. You can review the video. I say when I do my viewer requests, my intent is to give you as much of the song as I possibly could within a 5 to 10 minute. I try to keep it to 8 minutes sometimes, so I don't bore you. If you do want a consultation, as you see, musician instructions, I can always set up we can set up a private session or a group session to sort of cover the cost of time and preparation, because in my instructional sessions you actually get the chords written out. I write out the chords in my instructional, so you don't just get a lesson and then you got to remember what happened, but you're also able to record the video. When I do it through Skype, you can record the lesson for your own records, and you get a written um, you get the music written out. Let's see if I can share what I've done with one of my students that I do Let's see. I keep I keep a written record. Let's see if I can share this page. Things are going to disappear. I'm going to share a page of what I do with one of my students. So you're going to see things disappear. You think things disappear while I go and share a window. Let me go find it. Let's capture a window. This is what I do with students that take my online instruction. There it is. Let's broaden this out. As I say, I hide nothing. If you're learning or taking a course from me, this is one of my students that I currently have an ongoing Skype session with twice a month. And they request the songs they want to learn, and this is what they get on every lesson. I break the song down into lyrics because they're a learning musician, so they need to know what the chord names are, or chord names, but how to place the chords around the lyrics. So I break down the song. We broke down Great Is Thy Faithfulness. They wanted to learn hymns. I broke down Lord, I Lift Your Name on High. You get the melody. I broke down the song I Won't Complain. Broke down the song High Place. What was High Place? I make the darkness light before thee. Why the rest of it is not there, I don't know. All of my help comes from the Lord. Transition chords, Highway to Heaven they wanted to learn, so I started teaching it in a different format because their skill set began to grow. They learned the bass notes, they learned the chords associated with it. My faith looks up to thee. Because their skill set grew, I didn't have to now break it down with so much, but I gave them the chords with the melody. Left hand bass, Jesus paid it all. Changed the whole format of teaching. Thank you, Lord. Changed the format of teaching. How great is our God? They wanted to learn that song. I said, let's change the format again. We gave you the scale, the melody, the chords, and the bass. This is all part of the instruction I do on the internet. Beams of Heaven. As the skill set grows, the training grows. Holy, holy, holy. They wanted to learn the hymn, holy, holy, holy. Broke down the exact chords that's in the hymnal with the bass, left and right hand. I taught them Holy Spirit by Richard Smallwood, gave them the Richard Smallwood chords, broken down. Praise is what I do. They wanted to learn this song. They heard it on the radio. I wanted to play, so I broke down lyric, again, back to the original format, left hand, right hand, so that they knew how to put the words into place. Then they wanted to learn The Potter's House by Tremaine Hawkins. This was a challenge because this is the new style of gospel. This wasn't a hymn. Broke it down so that they could learn it. Broke it down some more so they can get all the changes. And these are the exact changes that is found in the hymnal. Then they wanted to learn Total Praise. And I broke down Total Praise, Richard Smallwood chords for vocals, which is learning 80% of the song. And I think that's where this shouldn't be there. I'll fix that. But the entitled song, that's where we left off, my last lesson with them, Total Praise. So this is what I give in my sessions based upon your skill set. I will work with where your skill set is. If you don't know chords, then I will teach you melody, right hand chord association with bass until I hear you getting better in your playing, and then you will grow from there to learning the nuances of songs. As I say, one-on-one lessons are $45 for the hour, but if I can do a Zoom session for one song and I can get between 3 to 5 people doing one Zoom session, I'll cut that price down to cover everyone taking the same song, so everybody gets the same training. And with Zoom, you're able to record the entire session, and of course that can be shared with everyone. I'm trying to be cost, well, time versus cost conscious. Of course, if I got to take the time to create a worksheet for a new song that I don't know, that's time I have to recoup from the cost of the lesson. That may be the hour long lesson at $45 an hour. And you get a full accounting of the song. You select, that person, I should say, selects the song they want to learn. If I'm familiar with it, it's easier for me. If I don't know the song, I need a week to tear the song apart, as you see me do here. I do the same thing in my head. Tear the song apart and write out the generic notes, the melody, and the chords around it, and then the lesson will begin once I've got that in place. But the easier the song, I can get 2 or 3 songs done in an hour if they're easy. If you're doing a hymn or you just want a particular, like one of the Siobhan wanted, what kind of chords can I put in between the verse and the chorus? Well, I just gave her 6 potential chords that she can add, and many of them are based on the scale from a classical standpoint and from a jazz standpoint. Pick one. She can now review this video because I believe this video will stay up. Been on an hour and 30, so I'll leave this video up. She can pick from the 6 that I showed her and decide while she's playing, decide which one she wants to use. Gamma Game said Winter Wind. I'm not familiar with Winter Wind. Let me hear what that sounds like. As I say, I can learn any song if I can hear it played correctly. Because music is relative. The notes don't change. It's how it's perceived, rather how it is presented. Oh, Chopin. No, I can't do that. I am not a classically trained musician, so I will not be able to give you Winter Wind correctly.
This is the Gillette Labs with exfoliating bar.
That's where I stay in my lane. I know where my lane is, and I stay in that lane. Let me just hear what it sounds like so that I can appreciate genius in music. I'm not a genius. I'm just very good at what I like to do. Let's see what we got. Yeah, that's not me. That much I can get. But everything else, no. As I say, I know my lane. I know my lane. I ain't get that much. Winter Wind. Thank you. My stream stopped. Yeah. Yeah, gospel I have no issue with because that's been my entire upbringing and the avenue in which I have spent the majority of my life, of my music life, within the evolution of gospel, from spirituals to anthems to hymns to the contemporary to the urban style and the praise and worship style and the CCM style. I am not challenged by the the styles of gospel music. When you get past that into where the what I call the learned professor taught musicians are, I stay out of that lane. I can always sit and appreciate what's being done, but I am not going to attempt, as they say, to teach all that. I barely get through key is starting to stick. I'll listen to that is the gist of my classical training. But I will borrow changes that I hear used in other songs. I will do that. If Winter Wind was a gospel song and was written out or performed by in a gospel format, I probably could learn it if the need was there. But is that the type of song that I would cover on a one-on-one session? No. Do you know the name of Jesus? We have the victory. Oh, that's the praise song when it first came out. Everybody sung that one. That is pure jazz. Oh, I'll call it gospel jazz. Tell me who can stand before us when we call on that great name. Jesus, 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 Jesus. We have the victory. That was one of the early praise songs that came out where, as a musician, you dealt with people who weren't singers. So I, as a musician, would just improvise the music around it because you never knew what key they were going to start it in. Let's see. In the key. All in the scale. So now I had to pick what jazz chords am I going to put with that. Yeah, so I would just, as the song kept being played, I just kept improvising. Um, and so forth. But you just look at the song and you look at how the audience how your audience is responding to the song. That lets you know, can you go a little further? Jesus. Yeah, I kind of, when I played that song, I took liberties again because what you want to do is get your audience hooked into the lyrics and just singing the song, and the music can't be just 1/4. So yes, that's why I teach scales. and chord association, where whatever note falls within this scale, it has a section of chords, major, minor, diminished, associated with it. Pick the one that best supports where the melody line is going. You saw I gave you just the basic melody. Pentatonic scale again. So already I know jazz. Minor, seventh, seventh, or minor seventh, or minor sixth rather. Diminish, tritone, seventh. I can go seventh, D7, G7, and end with a C6, which is the jazz chord. But yeah, I apply chords to everything. I'm going to bring this to a close. I thank those who have been participating in this live. There was a request from. Just go back. Where's that request from? Oh, Where He Leads Me from Sub Zero. So I'm going to end, which I usually try to end all of my lives with a hymn or with some song. Hey, welcome, Tremon. Sort of coming in at almost at the 90-minute mark, or 94 minute, 97-minute mark. But anytime you can always review. I'll keep this up. I'm sure there will be some copyright, not strikes, but there'll be some copyright notices because they would have played some of the songs that I covered. But I was giving an overview of how I answer viewer requests, and I did cover, I believe, 4 of them. So I've left some information in the Cordy format. I'm going to close out with the song Where He Leads Me. I believe is I Will Follow. Let me just look back to what that request was. Can you play Where He Leads Me? I Will Follow. Let me see. What key would I put that in? Where He Leads Me, I Will Follow. We've been in D flat a lot. Okay, we'll stay in D flat. Thank you all for spending some time with me. Be blessed. Um, if you want to take a chance and you want to stop by my online store, I still have some items there. It helps to support this channel. Helps me to be able to upgrade my equipment. I'm on one of the cameras that I've ordered. Thanks to your viewership and you inviting other people to view, it allows me to go out and to upgrade my system. I'm currently looking at upgrading to the newest Mac Mini when that comes. I do have issues with the one I do have, but the newer one will give me the ability to do a lot more and to incorporate some more cameras and perhaps a much even better sound. But thank you all. I always like to acknowledge those that have been in here with me. So going back to the very beginning, Jermaine, Sub-Zero, Johnny from Romania, I believe it was. Yes. Uh, Louis Bentley, yes. Siobhan, Sub-Zero. I don't want to miss anyone. The Gamma Games with the Winter Wind. Uh, Quinette, Burnett. Who else? Tremaine, who just came in. Tremaine, Tradwick, Choria. Well, that's a mouthful. Thank you for coming in. Again, I'm trying this new setup and this new concept where I will do a viewer request live so that you can see the process, what I put into it. I try not to cheat the requester. Sometimes I will, if it's a really difficult song, I may omit a lot of all the real difficult stuff because some of these songs can be that way. I think the Fred Hammond song, that was a difficult one. I had to really hear everything that was happening in that song. But as you can see, it's the same concept. Find the scale, find what chords they're using, and then put them on put them on the piano, and then find the timing, and then just practice. Practice with the purpose of being able to play it better each time that you practice. Again, thank you all. Be blessed. And let me know how this stream goes. Share it with those. As I say, I expect to be hearing from some copyright um, owners, and that's okay. I'll just, if they say, well, can we cut out the music and keep the rest of the video, so you may hear them do that. But if they allow me to keep doing this in this format, then this brings everyone else in the room at the same time, based upon where you are in the world, as we can see. And we can have some fun together. And you can ask your questions real time and live. And I try to answer every question I possibly can. Thank you all for coming. Be blessed. Have a good rest of your day. And we should be going out with one of my new screens.